How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Gun Bottom. It's your host, G Speaks, and we got a very, 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 very important, very special guest. This guest, I got a lot of love and respect and just the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? First thing, I have always, throughout my YouTube career, I have always pointed this shoe out. I have always pointed this shoe out.
It's crazy.
You know?
This is the original.
That's not the original. That's the 2000 retro.
Retro. Oh my God.
Do you remember? Now, finally, I get to get the person that owned the shoe. This was your shoe.
Yeah, it was.
But it put a lot of. Let me get this right. It put a lot.
Was this the one when they stopped putting the Nike on the?
No, yours was the last one.
Yeah. Okay.
Had a Nike on there, so yours was the last one.
Yeah, it's a Nike on the inside. Okay.
That's an important shoe, and for years I've talked about this shoe. I've shown, hey, this was my sister's shoe. They know whose shoe this is.
Yeah.
And now I finally get the person.
Yeah.
I finally get the person. What do you remember about that shoe?
That shoe was. I can't remember if I got it prior to my last year of high school. It was prior to my last year of high school, prior to my last year of basketball in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the shoe to take senior pictures in.
Wow.
And I think I may have played one game in that shoe, and I just kind of wore it here and there. But the shoe is in my senior pictures. It was the one I wore with my jersey. Basketball field.
We gotta introduce you first. we kind of jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Let's introduce you. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, you said that like grandmother.
You gonna give it away?
Yeah, just give it away right there.
Title. What do you call yourself these days?
Well, I mean, to family and friends, I'm Toya. In my professional career, Dr. L. Marie Floyd.
Dr. L. Marie Floyd.
Yeah.
That means so much. That means so much because your road to doctor is not traditional.
No, not at all.
It's a grind. It's a claw. It's a by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And I have watched you the whole way.
Yeah.
Just like you watched me the whole way. And now we're here. You know, you getting ready to celebrate a birthday.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Thanks.
Great birthday gift, right?
Yeah.
You come home and your little brother finally gets to interview you.
Yeah.
You know, and we talk about what help makes me. You know, because I don't get nowhere without these. You know, you brought these into the house early. You was the first person to bring a sneaker into the house. You know, you knew how bad you knew how my obsession. And then you come in. Jesus Christ. You remember when we moved to Dorset and when grandma died and mama turned that middle part into like that, she knocked that wall out. Yeah. And your closet was right behind the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, I stayed in your closet.
Yeah.
I stayed in, these was.
You and Portia.
These was right at the bottom corner. And I just remember telling everybody that these was mine. Mm-hmm. And I went, you wasn't, the thing is, you didn't wear these a lot.
I didn't.
You did not wear these a lot. They was there for me to draw. They was there for me to try on. They was there for me to outbug you like crazy. Toya, can I wear your shoes?
Yeah.
Toya, can I wear your shoes? Toya. How was it having a little brother?
Oh man. Having siblings is a privilege in my opinion. Having siblings is a privilege because you always get to figure out how to be a leader when you got siblings early. Having a brother as a woman is also a lot of fun because I think that you get to interact with the opposite sex in a way that's like not inconsequential. You know, I get to fight with you, I get to play with you in a way that I don't have to worry about the consequences of, am I going to offend you because you're a guy, or I can talk to you about things that maybe I don't talk to my little sister about. Having a little brother is always, I think, having siblings is a great thing, and then it's always nice, in my opinion, to have both, have a brother and a sister.
I followed you everywhere. I followed you everywhere. Yeah. Toya, can I go with you? Toya, can I? It was because I didn't have no brothers.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have no. I got all sisters, and you played just that. It was just enough to give me what I needed. I didn't feel like I grew up in a house with all women.
Yeah.
You know, because you teetered the line. You was into the stuff that you was just into hip hop. You was oh my God, Sam Goody.
Yeah.
Sam Goody in Northland.
Yeah, I think probably for you it was great because I've always, as they say, like never been a girly girl. I've always kind of been a tomboy. I always loved sports.
Basketball.
And having a younger brother, knowing that we ain't really have a male influence in our life and not a father figure, it was important to me for you to know like how to fight. I was gonna rough you up. Like I didn't want nobody to feel like you were, you know, like a punk. And you know, just general stuff like knowing how to dress, knowing how to do things, you know, making you go do stuff, like go take this out, go do that. You know, just knowing how to do things that I feel like most people in general should know, but definitely a guy should know.
You took that leadership role early. It was. We had a mother, but you was in charge.
I was at work.
And you knew. I knew. We knew not to cross that line with you. You know, the respect was there early. It was a joy. You know, looking back on childhood now. It was, I miss it. I miss it because we it's two more of us.
Yeah.
And we on our own, and we know we got a great family. We know we come from a great upbringing, and we got that strength. But just on that everyday life, we fend for ourselves. You know, you took a role, and when you, well, let me stop. Cause I'm gonna get, you know, I don't want to get emotional, you know, cause you know it is what it is. But we here so you can tell your story. You know, it's not always about what you did for me. It's about what you did for yourself. And I knew it was hard for you to separate yourself from us, cause you had to leave us.
Yeah.
In order for you to become doctor who you are now, you had to be selfish, and we didn't take to it. We just didn't take to it like we should have. We didn't really push you like, it was more so, oh, Toya's leaving us. You know, but we didn't understand. We was children, and we was your children too. You know, because a lot of the influence that we had not only came from mom, but it came from you as well.
Yeah.
So when you left for college, it was a heartbreaking experience. And then that's when I came into my own.
Yeah, y'all went wild. Y'all went absolutely wild.
So start from the beginning. Wherever you want to start from, elementary school or just in the house, period.
Yeah. Oh, I think people always ask me about that though, about going away to college as one of the few in our family. I think our cousin Mike went away. But in our immediate family, nobody never really.
You know, he's the executive producer of Real Sneaker.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just talked to him maybe a week ago.
Yeah, I saw a snippet, and I was like, oh my God, I want to go. My cousin went to Howard. Man, I want to go to school. Oh, what the heck is going on in school? And I wanted to go to Spelman. I wanted to go to Spelman so bad, and our mom was like, no, you're not leaving, because on her end, it was like, I'm a single parent mother. My oldest daughter is not leaving the state, and not to mention it's expensive. She's like, I don't have any money to be sending you out of state. And
you had so much money.
Yeah, but from as young as I can remember, our mother always told us, like, I don't have no money to send you to school. You need to get good grades and you need to get a scholarship so that you can go to college. Like, that was always the expectation and what I knew. And growing up in Detroit, at Detroit Public Schools, the one thing I can say hands down was amazing for me was that they had the Detroit Compact. They had Wade McCree and they had Detroit Compact. And depending on what school you went to, you either got Detroit Compact or you got Wade McCree. And it was a guaranteed scholarship to school for 4 years. And I forgot the amount, but whatever it was enough money to get you to school if you did what you needed to do the whole time that you were in Detroit Public Schools. So I already knew that I had that in my back pocket from the minute I started high school. I was like, all I had to do was get good grades all 4 years and I'm out of here. Because in my mind, I was going away to college and I was done with this older sister role, in the sense that, not that I didn't want to be around with you guys, but it was like, it's time for me to live my life. I have been in the house, not been able to go nowhere for years, taking care of you guys. And I'm like, okay,
you wasn't the distant sibling.
No.
You was mama too.
Like you hear a lot of siblings, younger siblings say, oh my sister was staying out of the house and she was gone and she ain't help us eat, she ain't do nothing for us, and it's like, that was never in me, probably because I saw my mom work so hard. So I took it seriously, at least that we have food in the house, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll do my part, so to speak. But when it was time for me to go, I took my scholarship money and I spent my whole senior year, probably towards the end of my 11th grade year, every time a scholarship came across my table, I filled it out. Anything, it didn't matter what it was, how small, how big, I wrote what I had to write and I sent it off. And I had like a couple different essays and I would just reformat the essays and send it off to this scholarship. I reformat the essay and I send it off to this scholarship. I had like 4 or 5 teachers write me recommendations. I'd be like, can you refresh that recommendation? And I package it off. And by the end of my year, I had plenty of money. I never came out of my pocket for anything when I went to Michigan.
I just remember your senior year. It was so. I just remember being in the crowd, like, oh God, we went to so many award ceremonies. Like, how many times is they gonna honor my sister? How many awards can you have?
Yeah.
You know, we just in the crowd. We just in the crowd. And I know for a fact, at least one of those ceremonies I had these on.
Right. Probably. Because like you said, I never wore those shoes. No. And I think that was at the beginning when people was just like in love with Jordans. Because when those came out with that patent leather on it, was like, oh my God.
Do you remember when you got them? Do you remember like getting them?
Yeah, because I bought those. Yeah. I bought those myself. I had a job. And I bought those myself. I was like, I'm getting me some Jordans for my senior pictures.
What did you do to me?
Yeah.
What did you didn't even know that. Look at this place. The impact.
Yeah.
The impact. The impact. Like, you really set all my senses off. Like, you know, it was like, if my sister do it, I gotta do it.
I mean, I've always been a sneakerhead. Not at the level that you are, but yeah, always been a sneakerhead. I mean, I was like probably all the kids back in the day in the East Bay book. Like, oh, I'm gonna get these.
East Bay magazine. You see how y'all see how this stuff comes into my life, you know, and nothing's by chance. It's destined.
Yeah.
You know.
And I never forget when what's that site that you get, like eBay? And eBay came.
You about to set all the sneakerheads on.
When eBay came, and I was like, oh my God, I would sit and I would bid on shoes, and that was probably like end of 12th grade into my first year of college, and then I was probably spending way too much money in my scholarship money on shoes.
And I was right there. I was just right there watching. I was right there watching. I just remember begging you, like, Toya, please, can you give me these? Can you give me these? I remember coming home, getting in trouble by Mama and Steven. Just, I'm not supposed to be on the computer. I got suspended from school. It's just like, it's something I had to do, you know. And I'm just so happy, and I'm proud of you, you know. And I thank you. I really thank you for, you know, just taking care of me and keeping me out of trouble and just, you know, doing as much as you could. Cause for a while, I ain't know.
Yeah.
You know, I was, you know, I'm that kid that, I'm the middle child, I'm almost the baby, I'm the only boy, I don't have a lot of avenues to turn. We grew up in a city where at that time it's so dangerous to even come outside. The areas that we was living in, the schools, the schools we was going to, just we didn't have much. Coleman Young, Cooley, Cerveny. It wasn't much for me. I had to be creative. Yeah. You know, and me being a Pisces. You know, me being a dreamer and a daydreamer, just 24/7, and just having you as an example. You know, I want to play basketball like my sister. I want to wear Jordans like my sister. I remember you rolling your pants sleeve up like LL Cool J. You know.
Yeah.
Aaliyah.
Oh my God.
Oh
man, I idolize her.
I remember when she died, you spent the whole day. You didn't get out of bed. You didn't come out your room.
It was very sad. It was hurtful.
It was hurtful. It was. You made me feel it.
Yeah.
What drove you? Like why? Why was family so important to you back then? I didn't even, you know, I'm a child. I don't even know a lot.
Honestly, because I didn't have anything else. I mean, that's the realization of it. Like you said, we didn't have anything else. We grew up in a single parent home, and we had a grandmother, but like our uncle, our mother's older sibling lived out of state in Florida. We had another uncle in the military. Our grandmother moved from Birmingham, Alabama to Detroit by herself. Mm-hmm. So she came here with no siblings.
Right.
So we didn't have extended family.
They still down there right now.
Still down there. We didn't have extended family. We had an auntie and a grandmother for the most part, and a couple sprinkles of random family members that we didn't really have a relationship with. And then we had, you know, the extended family from fathers, and then on my side, my father's family is huge. Mm-hmm. So, however, that wasn't like a part of you guys' immediate family. So, I mean, there really was nobody. You know, it was just us.
It really was. It was just us. And I think I think you played your role perfectly. You know?
Thank you.
I think you played your role perfectly. Just to see how we all turned out. And for you to have a little brother, like, did you see this? Like, did you see me turning?
No, because once you start working, I thought you was going to do the traditional route. You know, you was working hard and had you a 9 to 5, and then you went back and got you a degree. And I was like, oh, okay, you're going to do the typical thing. And he was like, no, I'm about to have my own business. Oh, okay. But it's like it was a surprise, but at the same time, it's like I can see it because I think it's ingrained in our family.
Yes,
you know, our grandmother was an entrepreneur.
Hustle.
Our grandfather was an entrepreneur.
Hustle.
Our mom was trying to be. She
was on that. She was walking that line of fire.
You know, and then on my side, my father's side of the family, serious entrepreneurs. So it wasn't something that we had never been exposed to.
Right. The paper route.
Yeah, I mean, just bread and butter, old school stuff.
Garlic bread, even the garlic bread on the paper route, you know. And funny, the place we used to get the garlic bread is around the corner.
Oh, it's
around the corner.
corner.
I didn't even realize we was delivering papers in Redford.
Yep, we were.
Yeah, I think it's a dispensary now.
Yeah, it's right over here in this little neighborhood.
Right over here in these little neighborhoods, and just becoming an adult and just seeing how your childhood just kind of tailors you for what you go through now and what you're experiencing now. You know, but how do you become a doctor?
Oh man, how do you become a doctor? You know, I was telling this the other day to someone, because going back to, like you said, us not having a whole lot growing up, I have always wanted to be a doctor since I was a kid.
Facts.
And
facts. I never heard you say anything else.
Yeah.
I never heard you say anything but a doctor. Like, you know, it's kind of cliche for a child to say, oh, I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
Mm-hmm.
But you made it real. Like, we just, Toya's gonna be a doctor. Toya's gonna be a doctor. And to watch you and to hear the terminology of things, like, I had never even heard valedictorian before.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
I was telling someone this the other day, actually, because I was just kind of like reminiscing. I forgot. I think it was something about Michigan that came up, and I was telling them, being a doctor, the desire to be a doctor was twofold. Of course, we had a mother that was a nurse. She went to nursing school when we were kids. So there was medical books around the house, and I took an inclination to them, like an interest. But then there was the other part of it was that, you know, when I was going to school inside of Cooley High, we was in that special program where our middle school was inside of Cooley High. The triad program. I was playing basketball. When I first started playing basketball in middle school, I was actually playing middle school basketball with high school kids, high school girls. And the captain of the girls basketball team, I just like idolized her. I don't know, something's like cool. It's just like I saw myself in her. And at the time, the captain of the girls basketball team was actually two of them. But one of them at the graduation, and so we had went to the graduation for Cooley that year at the end, and she was like, I'm, in her valedictorian speech, she was the valedictorian of Cooley High School that year. In her valedictorian speech, she said, I'm gonna go to the University of Michigan and study chemistry and be a doctor. Wow. And I was like, I'm doing the same thing. Because I ain't had no other role models. I was just like, you know, Brandy, and I can't remember her last name. I'm pretty sure her name was like Brandy or something. And Brandy said she went to Michigan and she was the captain of the basketball team. And she was like, you know, back then, like, girls were playing. Like, she was like a beast. And she's like, she going to study chemistry and go to Michigan. I ain't never been to Ann Arbor. I know nothing about Michigan. Football, a little bit, kind of. And that was what I said. I graduated from 8th grade. I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. And that was just my mission afterwards. It's like, I'm gonna be a valedictorian. I was the valedictorian in my class. And I was like, I'm going to Michigan. I can't go to Spelman. That was my next choice. And she's like, you can't go to Spelman. I was like, okay, cool. Well, Michigan sounds good. And that's what I was hell-bent on doing. Michigan it was. I got into Michigan. And I was like, I'm studying chemistry. But I got to Ann Arbor and I was like, I can't do this chemistry. I'm not gonna be able to do chemistry. I was like, coming from a little small business school in Detroit where my chemistry class was a joke. Miss Minor. It was like otherworldly. I hadn't really even been on a college campus before I went to Ann Arbor. I had never been to Ann Arbor before I went, like a couple weeks before school started. So, but yeah, I was like, I'm going, and then I got a reality check about how to study and how to make it, and I was like, wow, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I was severely underprepared. Michigan is one of the top institutions in the country, and these kids was coming in, they was killing it, they was doing all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what is this? Like, I've never even seen what is, I don't even know what this is in this book. So I struggled my way through, as my mother says, see your way out. That's what I did. I was getting C's, but I had a really tough time at the end because I was like, these C's aren't gonna get me into medical school.
Right.
And
But you gotta see the thing about that. You gotta tag along.
yeah.
You gotta tag along. I don't know none of this. I just know I didn't got in trouble in school. So you gotta come down here and get me.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, I'm spending the weekend in Ann Arbor.
Oh man, yeah. You know, you guys didn't know the struggle. I called myself trying to introduce you. Like, oh, y'all can come and spend some time with me up here in Ann Arbor. And
I loved it.
went to the gym.
Oh my God, I loved it.
And I was like, look, we at the gym. You can play basketball all day here.
Told me I use my right hand. I just remember up there, you put the cones out. You made me jab step and go to the right until I got it.
Man.
Until I got it. We was in that gym for hours and hours. And it was what I needed. It was some of the first taste of getting out of my element. Because you gotta think, I'm leaving everything I know. I'm in Ann Arbor from Friday evening, Saturday, coming back Sunday, you dropping me back off. And I done been away from everything for 2-3 days. I'm up here getting my CDs burned. You was the first person I knew with POPCAST high-speed internet. You know, and it was what it was. I'm just a visual artist.
Yeah.
I always have been. You know,
Yeah.
I always have been, and you made things. It's one thing, cause a lot of things I couldn't get from mom. She wasn't going for it. So I knew to ask my second mom. You know, you understood me. You understood more of where I was coming from and where I needed to go. You know, you let me be me. And that was the best part about it. You want to grow your hair out?
Oh my God.
The first person to ever try
He's
to,
like Iverson.
you know,
Oh my goodness.
but you never stopped me. You know what I'm saying? If Iverson on TV, you gonna help me find the channel. If I want my hair braided, you the first person to play in my hair. You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto. The first pair of I'm begging you for sneakers off eBay. You know what I'm saying? And in 12th grade, I'm in 7th grade. You giving me your debit card and say here. You know what I'm saying? Mama wasn't going for none of that.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't understand it. You know how she is. She didn't even want me. It's funny how I own a clothing brand, but she ain't even never like me to wear logos on my clothes.
Mm.
And I remember that to this day. Like, even when I'm making these clothes and stuff, like, I just remember like my mom saying like, no, you don't need to draw no attention to yourself.
And not her only son.
Only son.
Can't get locked up. You need to be real.
It's a lot of pressure on me. A lot of pressure on me. I was just telling my friend that yesterday, and it was just like, I took that the same way you took your job seriously, the same way I took mine seriously, because as far as you know how it is with the younger men, and 21, you're either gonna end up dead or in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up in Detroit, and I just understood that she didn't have a second chance at this. Mm-hmm. She got one son. I can't do that to her. I can't put her in a position to lose off rip. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And not only am I her only son, but I'm my dad's only son too. So if I lose, I take them both out the game at the same time. I'm y'all only brother. I'm the only one.
Only one.
Only one.
You're right. That is a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure to grow up where we grew up. When everybody chooses the wrong thing, when everybody chooses negativity, it's all about style. You gotta be the one impressionable. You gotta be the first with this. You got, where we grow up. Detroit is a crazy place. It's a crazy place. And for a young guy with not a strong upbringing, with not a strong mind, you'll lose yourself fast. So I think having the strong women around me is what kept me together.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
And the brains of it all, just y'all smart as hell. Everybody, I had to make sneakers important. This was never gonna be what it was. I'm growing up in the house in the whole medical field. I don't want to be a doctor. I said it. I remember I used to say I wanted to be a brain surgeon, but that's just because that's all y'all was saying. You want to be a doctor. Mom's already on the route to being what she is now, and Portia's a nurse, Michelle's a nurse, Tisha's a nurse, and it's like, okay, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't be a nurse. At that time, there's no male nurses. Being a nurse is a female dominant,
Yeah.
So what do? All I know is I like these. I like these, and it was an infection. I remember begging grandma, sitting in front of the TV, watching Jordan play the Pistons with the East Bay magazine, on the phone with her, begging her, grandma, please, I need these. And for you to come in the house with them made it real. It was one thing to see the kids at school with it.
Yeah.
It was one thing to see, but for me to take a pair and be able to go to sleep with it, and be able to just hold it, unlimited time with it, just study it like, wow, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what I've been, dying for, to get one of these in the house. And then you bring them in the house and make them real. And I'm like, wow, my big sister done did it again. She done did it again. I couldn't let y'all down. And at this point, I hope I still have it. Because life is crazy. It takes you twists and turns, and you don't know where you really get spit out. And just the determination that runs through the blood.
Yeah, I think everybody's route is different, and like you said, my route to medicine was non-traditional. Like, I didn't go straight to medical school after that. After undergrad, after those 5 years in Ann Arbor, it was a long period. I graduated 2006. And I didn't start 10 years. I didn't start my post-bac program at Wayne State until 2016. And so that's a 10-year gap of me meandering through, figuring things out. I tried everything. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a lawyer now. I was like, oh, I'm gonna study for the LSAT. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I was a teacher. I was substitute teaching. And then I worked for a nonprofit I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a program director of a nonprofit, and take that route because I love being in my community, and it's a way for me to stay tied to this, all the kids that love Jordans and speak to them. And I was like, that ain't gonna work, ain't no money there. And I was like, this ain't me. I'm not gonna be like faking, pretending, and begging people for money for the rest of my life. And I was like, and I got my first real job. I was like, I went back to school. I didn't know what I was going to do, honestly. But I know I ended up back in school. I went to Michigan Dearborn. And I was like, I don't know what to do, but I'm going to go back to what feels right, because Ann Arbor was so great to me. And I was like, I'm going to go back to Michigan. I'm going to go to Dearborn this time, because I'm not going back to Ann Arbor. That's expensive. I went back and studied economics. And I just started all over again. Very few people probably even know though, but I literally went and got another bachelor's degree in economics. And because I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life. And so I was studying and I was like, I love this. It's great. And then it gave me confidence too. That's the other thing. I got that second bachelor's, and it was the confidence boost that I didn't get when I was in Arbor, when I felt like I was on the bottom of the barrel. Everybody was doing so much better than me, and my friends graduated from Michigan and went to freaking John Hopkins. James went to John Hopkins, and I had another friend that went to Emory, and like these are top-notch medical schools. And hell, James got an interview at Harvard. So I was like, man, I suck. But I was like, I'm going back home to live in my mom's basement. Like, it's tough. It's like, I suck. And I went to Michigan Dearborn, I studied economics, and all of a sudden my confidence came back up. I was getting good grades. I was getting A's and B's, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, I'm gonna get a PhD in economics, so I'm gonna do finance. But then I needed a job because I was still like going back and forth. Like I said, I graduated and with a 5-year degree in biochemistry, and I didn't have a real job. I was staying in my mom's basement, and I was working as a nursing assistant, making like $11 an hour, and I felt terrible. And I was like, I need like a real job, and I kept going, and I started working on my resume. I had like a little internship at J.D. Power.
I remember J.D. Power.
And that was what changed the trajectory of my career. I had a little internship. I got there. I worked for a while, and I got hired. And I was like, wow, I got my first paycheck, real paycheck that wasn't like this little part-time job. It was an actual career, and he gave me a contract to sign when I first started. I was like, wow, this is what people that graduated with a real job did. I was like, wow, this is a like contract with a salary on it. I was like, wow, this is incredible. You know, my first paycheck I only worked like 40 hours. I was like, I only had to work 40 hours for this much money? There's zeros on here. Right. It's like, wow, I didn't have to work overtime. I didn't work 60 hours doing my little hustle, my nurse aide job, or my 2 jobs at night. It's like, this is great. So I just kept working.
You know,
like,
I'm
going to get a master.
It was, I know your struggle, because we are younger siblings, so we know what you're going through.
Yeah.
But for me, it was the Nike jogging suit.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Nike.
Always.
Whatever you did, it was the Nike jogging suit.
Always.
It was the
Always
Nike tennis
Nike
shoes. It was like, this is the hustler's outfit. You know? It just never, anytime you came, Mama used to always say that, like, you ain't got no money, you hustling, you straight, but you gotta.
I'm having a new pair of shoes on.
When it was time for me to step into them shoes, I knew what to put on. I knew to put on my Nike. Even right now, you know, going through what I'm going through, I still think about that to this day, and I'm like, you know, my sister done weathered so many things in life, and she just didn't let it stop her. And anytime you came to the house, because we're not gonna act like when you came around, you didn't light up everything. You know what I'm saying? You brought the energy into the room. Even Mom, she just, no matter what she was going through, no matter what was on her mind, when you came to the house, when you came into town, she would put her best, like, all right, we ain't got no food, but I'm gonna whip something up. You know what I'm saying? I just was upstairs yelling and cussing everybody out, but when Toya come into the house, you know, and then we used to call you her favorite child. Like, oh, your favorite child here.
I mean, it's funny you say I'm the favorite child, because I'm sure we would all beg to differ.
To who?
You can't deny being the only boy puts you somewhere closer to the top of the list.
You sure I did? I mean, I just think I'm just the only boy. My route was so different, you know, because nobody got in trouble before me. Nobody did the things that I did. Nobody pushed the envelope. And I think it was just, I don't think it was a way for me to stand out. I think it was just me being, I'm a boy. You know, I'm not trying to get in trouble. It just seemed to follow me. Mm-hmm. You know, my sisters you go to U of M. Right when you go to U of M, Portia go to Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? I take the same test y'all take. I don't get into shit. I got to end up at Commerce just like you do. And Commerce was, oh my God, it was like, your older sister is valedictorian. What the fuck are you doing? You know, your grades are terrible. You get suspended every day. You done lost your blazer.
You done lost your blazer.
You know, and I'm like, oh my God, my shoes to fill are huge, but I'm like really fucking up. You know, and it's not intentional. It's just like, damn, I'm really trying. Like, I'm going to school, like, all right, I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna have a good day. I'm not gonna get in trouble. Second hour, I'm in the office, like, how the hell does this shit happen? You know, and I remember, man, you remember giving me that whooping? They didn't call mama that time, they called you. Mm-hmm. And you had to come up to the school, and I was skipping at the time.
Oh my God.
And it was like, it just always was the shit that she would say, you just knew how to relay that message. So it felt worse coming from you. You were like, oh, you gonna be a fuck up, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do this, you're gonna do this. And it just was like, all right, Toy mad at me. I ain't halfway care if mama was, if she was mad, it was like, all right, mama tripping, she's supposed to. But when you came down, and it was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I didn't do too damn much. And you know, I was straighten up, but it was just, at the end of the day, it was just like, I mean, you know.
Yeah. I think everybody just has their journey, like you said. You know, figure out their path and how they want to get through life, and people are going to get treated differently at different points in their life too. Mm-hmm. You know, and you experience things that even if going to the same school don't mean you're going to have the same experience I had.
Not at all.
You know,
not at all. Because our experiences at the same schools was night and day.
Yeah. Popularity
was there. We was, you know, everybody knew that I was your little brother. Everybody knew, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, y'all can't have the same mama. Y'all can't come from the same household and you spend the same amount of time in the same household. And I took it as like, I never felt like I couldn't be my best. Cause I'm like, well, even now, like, looking like, my mom's a doctor, my sister's a doctor, and I never feel intimidated in conversations. I never feel ignorant. I feel like, even now, I'm holding a conversation with a surgeon. You know what I'm saying? You are at the top of the list as far as education. Me, I got a bachelor's degree. You know, I only get that because of y'all. Mm-hmm. I don't even care about school have, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, my sisters did it, then my mom did it. I can do it too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all paved that road, it's like, okay, I might not walk down it, but I play hopscotch down it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm down the same road, like, yeah. You know, I'm not taking it as serious as y'all, yeah. But I'm on this motherfucker just, all right, what's behind that door? What's behind that door? You know, yeah. You know, and I thank y'all for that, because I feel I'm a very, very, and I notice it comes with confidence, and I know I'm a very, very, very intelligent man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think a lot of our families like that too. I don't know maybe it's just in our gene pool, but most of our family are, you know, at our core, like, very intellectual, like critical thinkers is probably the best way to put it. Like, I think we are very good critical thinkers.
And we perform very well with our back against the wall. I think that's when we bring out our best.
Yeah, that's
because our family comes together. Our family comes together marvelously in tragedy. You know, when everything good, we barely talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Let some bad shit happen, we all strapped up.
Yeah, family be like that.
You know.
But I think it's important for most people to understand, like you said, everybody has their own journey, their own route. It doesn't mean, like I said, my route to medicine being non-traditional, extended detours or what have you. And everybody's journey is gonna have some highs and some lows.
So in that 10-year hiatus, you know, you graduate from U of M 2006. You don't get back onto the medical field until 2016.
Yeah.
You know, that's hard.
Yeah.
What made you stick with it? Like, what made you not give up?
Ah, man. I had so many moments that made me not give up. I was always dibbling, dabbling in medicine. Like I said, I was a nurse aide on and off the whole time up until I got that job at JD Powers, and even a couple times after that. I initially started in automotive market research at JD Powers, and then I started to get this itch about medicine and healthcare and stuff like that. So I transferred to the healthcare team. And at that time, Cameron had also gotten sick.
Yeah, which was
that
was a very pivotal moment.
And honestly, I think that was it. That was when the light came back on.
Because I think we all was in the room like, we can fix this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To have a 6-month-old, how was she? 6, 7, 8 months? She about 6 months old.
Her birthday's in September, and she got sick in July.
Hers is 3 days before yours.
Yeah, she got sick a day or so after the 4th of July.
Right. And before she's 1 year old, to need a heart transplant.
Yeah.
And for her to be the only baby in the family at the time. Portia had just started having kids. I have no kids.
Yeah.
Yet you have no kids. Michelle have no kids. Portia's the only sibling of ours besides Tisha. Portia's the only sibling with children.
Yeah.
And to see a baby go through that, it was a rock that shifted our whole family. And then, because right after that, that's when I had Kendall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was something like, and I honestly, I could say it right now. It was really like, if we lose Cameron, I felt the need to replace her.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, and it was just, I start thinking about children right then. You know, I remember coming into the house after the first day and hugging Kamari, like, it was crazy. And our family just took a shift. At that time, we all thought we was doctors, because we all thought we could save her.
Yeah, we all had to be in some kind of capacity.
Taking shifts at the hospital. Because one thing about us, we ain't no stranger to no hospital.
Yeah.
We not. I walk through the hospital right now, like, shit, I work here. My mama a doctor.
Yeah. I think we all, like you said, just having medical people in the household probably made us a little more inclined to understand what was going on and to be a little more involved than the average family. But that was the light bulb for me, I think. I wrote about it in my essay to get into medical school. I still wrote about it for my application to residency. It was a light bulb. Being in that hospital every day with Cameron and our sister, it was a defining moment, because it was like, okay, it sucks for us, but there was a part of me that was enjoying that moment, talking to doctors every day.
Oh man, we were rushed down there
every day.
At the time I was delivering pizza.
Every day I just enjoyed the environment, and
I got this smirk on my face.
Yeah.
I got this smirk on my face because I know for a fact.
Yeah.
I'm about to get some brownie points with mama.
Oh my God. Oh my
I would just tell her right now, yeah. You know, yeah. I'm gonna get so, like, when I know she gonna watch this and she's gonna have a big smile on her face.
She is.
Yeah. And that was one of the reasons why I'm like, I gotta do this. And it just really came into my head, and I called you like, why you here? Because you're in Chicago, you're in Illinois. Mm-hmm. And it's having you away is hard, but knowing where you at, knowing what you're doing is pleasing to the soul. Yeah. Even when you put those pictures in the group chat, like, look what I did today, look, it's motivating, because these days get dark.
Yeah, that's why I do it. It's not for me to, of course I'm happy about those moments of success, but it's more so for everybody else to see, like, okay, I'm still working hard. Everybody else can find their passion to work hard at too.
Before we lose our camera, What's been your greatest moment so far as being a doctor?
I've had many. Really wonderful moments. The moments where, unfortunately, the moments where I have people of color come up to me and be like, "I'm so happy to see you." Those are always wonderful moments because it's not that they see me, it's that I see you.
Right.
And it's not that I just see you as a person of color. I see all of my patients as someone that I would take care of, like my siblings, my mother, and speaking of like taking care of, so that's leadership role and that empathy that I carry as an older sibling. I carry it right into my career, and I treat everybody like there's somebody who's important to me. So
they lucky.
Those moments.
They lucky.
Those moments mean a lot to me.
I mean, from you putting band-aids on me as a child, just they lucky to have you. I can honestly say they blessed to have you, because I'm blessed to have you. I'm blessed to have you. My life don't turn out the way it is without you. I don't become G Sneaks without you. I don't.
I know with that shoe up there.
I don't. This is the
that
first
shoe
one. I don't.
So
I'm proud of myself, motherfucker. I done it.